Coleen Patricia Nolan is an English singer, television presenter and author, best known as the youngest member of the girl group, the Nolans, in which she sang with her sisters, and for being a panellist on the chat show Loose Women from 2000 to 2011 and then returning 2 years later in October 2013. As a member of the Nolans, she first performed on television in 1974. She was a full-time member of the group from 1980 to 1994. The group was particularly successful in Japan, where they won the Tokyo Music Festival in 1981 and a Tokubstsu Kakiku Sho award in 1992, for Best Foreign Recording Artists. The Nolans. The Nolans made their television debut in 1974 on the show It's Cliff Richard. With a lineup featuring all 6 sisters and billed as the Nolan Sisters, they performed Stuck on You. That same year, they released their debut single But I Do, with Coleen singing lead vocals. Due to her age, Coleen would not become a full-time member of the group until 1980, when she was 15, although she does appear in the music video to their 1979 hit I'm in the Mood for Dancing, which reached number 3 in the UK singles chart. They also had UK top 20 hits with Don't Make Waves, Gotta Pull Myself Together, Who's Gonna Rock You, Attention to Me, Chemistry and Don't Love Me Too Hard. In 1981, they won the Tokyo Music Festival with the song Sexy Music. 4 of the Nolans reformed in 2009 for a UK tour to mark the 30th anniversary of the release of I'm in the Mood for Dancing. Television. On February 5, 1974, Nolan made her first television appearance with her sisters when she was almost 9 years old, as the Nolans appeared on the It's Cliff Richard television series. On January 14, 1987, she appeared alongside her sisters Anne, Bernie and Maureen in the BBC sitcom Filthy Rich and Catflap. In April 2009, Nolan presented the programme, The Truth About Eternal Youth about plastic surgery on ITV. In 2010, Nolan presented The Secret Guide to Women's Health on Sky Real Lives. In 2000, Nolan played the part of Janelle Cooper in the short comedy film, Rattler. In 2013, Nolan was a resident agony aunt on the ITV chat show The Alan Titchmarsh Show, appearing every Friday afternoon. Loose Women. In 2000, Nolan became a regular panellist on ITV's Loose Women. She remained with the series on and off for 11 years. On March 16, 2011, Nolan announced she would be leaving Loose Women after 11 years on the show. She made her last appearance as a panellist on July 28, 2011. On October 7, 2013, Nolan returned as a regular panellist. This Morning. Between 2001 and 2002, Nolan co-presented This Morning on ITV, with John Leslie, on a rota basis with Fern Britton on Monday and Friday mornings. Nolan was initially signed up to co-present with former model Twiggy, who was sacked after working on the show for only a month. On September 6, 2010, Nolan made her return to This Morning, presenting segments in the Interactive Hub, but left on June 13, 2012. Guest appearances. On March 4, 2002, Nolan was a panellist on BBC panel game show Nevermind the Buzzcocks. On May 25 she appeared on An Audience with Brian Conley. Later in 2002, she took part in the first series of the reality television programme Celebrity Fit Club, which followed overweight celebrities as they tried to lose weight for charity. On January 7, 2003, Nolan appeared in the documentary We Are Family that chronicled the success stories of various musical acts that were made up of family members. In 2002 and 2003, she was a panellist on the chat show The Right Stuff on 5 and guest hosted the show herself in 2013. On June 3, 2005, Nolan took part in the first series of the ITV daytime programme, Have I Been Here Before? Presented by Philip Schofield, which offered celebrity guests the chance to see if they have lived before, through past life regression. Nolan was said to have been a nervous 16-year-old debutante. In September 2006, Nolan returned to Celebrity Fit Club as part of the judging panel in the 4th series. On October 6, she was a guest on The Sharon Osbourne Show and, 10 days later, was a guest on The Irish Chat Show, broadcast and produced by RTA Permill, The Podge and Rod Show. On September 19, Nolan appeared on Al Murray's Happy Hour, and on September 27, she appeared with her family on the third series of All-Star Family Fortunes, competing against Barry McGuigan and his family. She has also made guest appearances on Alan Carr's Celebrity Ding Dong and The Paul O'Grady Show, both on Channel 4. On September 13, 2012, she was a guest panelist on an episode of Celebrity Juice on ITV2. On February 15, 2013, Nolan stood in for Matthew Wright as host of The Right Stuff on Channel 5. Dancing on Ice. Beginning on January 11, 2009, Nolan took part in the fourth series of Dancing on Ice on ITV. Of her appearance on the show, Nolan said, "I've never really skated. When I was 14, I used to go to Disco Beat in Blackpool with my friend. We'd skate round once, hanging onto each other, and spend the rest of the night posing, like 14-year-old girls do. I could only go forwards, I couldn't stop." She was eliminated in Week 10, finishing in fourth place. Nolan co-hosted the spin-off show Dancing on Ice Friday with Ben Shepherd on ITV. On February 27, 2011, Nolan hosted Dancing on Ice, in place Holly Willoughby, who fell ill. Celebrity Big Brother. On August 15, 2012, Nolan was announced as the 11th celebrity to enter the Celebrity Big Brother house on Channel 5. On September 7, 2012, she was declared the runner-up of the series. Other work: Nolan has a weekly column in Best Magazine and a parenting column in the Daily Mirror. In 2007, Nolan featured in television advertisements for the supermarket chain Iceland, along with her sister Bernie and former Loose Women colleague Kerry Katona. She appeared in further commercials for Iceland during the next couple of years. Nolan was the new face of Park Christmas Savings and appeared in their television advertisements in December 2010. In early 2008, she released a DVD, A Brand New You, produced with Rosemary Conley. Personal life: Nolan was born and brought up in Blackpool. She married Shane Ritchie in 1990, and they had two sons, Shane Roche Jr. and Jake Roche, together before splitting up in 1997 and divorcing in 1999. She gave birth to a daughter, Ciara, on Tuesday 19 June 2001 and became engaged to her longtime boyfriend Ray Fensom when he proposed on her 40th birthday in 2005. They married in November 2007. Nolan has undertaken charity work for the Alzheimer's Society, including cycling the River Nile in Egypt. Her late mother, Maureen, was a sufferer. In 2006, Nolan opened the first Alzheimer's Society Information Center on the Filder Coast. Nolan's mother died on December 30, 2007. In March 2008, Nolan supported a Learn Direct national campaign to improve English and math skills, and in April she helped launch Sentry Parental Controls, a real-time content control software that logs, notifies and blocks inappropriate internet content that may be unsuitable for children. In January 2008, Nolan claimed that various slimming techniques had enabled her to drop 5 dress sizes and 5 stone in weight to 8 st 13 pounds and size 10. While participating on Dancing on Ice, Nolan had a cancer scare after finding a lump in her breast, but was later given the all-clear. Controversies: Nolan has gained media attention at times for controversial statements and opinions. In 2005, on Loose Women, she claimed that if her 16-year-old son passed his exams then she would pay for him to go on a sex trip to Amsterdam, and that she had given her fiancé copyright Ray Fensom permission to have a one-night stand during the proposed trip. She was criticized by Shane Ritchie, who said he was disgusted and appalled by her comments about their son, and that he hoped and assumed it was said in total jest. "I can assure everyone that having passed his GCSEs, fingers crossed, Jane Jr. will not be going to Amsterdam." English doctor and author Miriam Stoppard said of Nolan's comments, "The world's gone insane," and claimed that Nolan seemed to be shirking her responsibilities to deliver sex education. However, Nolan defended her comments, saying that she had told her son that she would pay for a long weekend for him anywhere in the world, and that he had mentioned how he and his mates had always wanted to go to Amsterdam to see the red light district. "If he planned to go on a trip to Ibiza, everybody would have thought that was fine. even though he would probably have unprotected sex with lots of girls. In the News of the World newspaper she said, "In an ideal world I'd never condone my son sleeping with hookers, but it's a fact of life that boys of his age have casual sex. So if I'm pushed, I'd rather he does it somewhere well policed and where the girls have health checks than behind the wall of a club in Ibiza with absolutely no safeguards." And added about her comments about Fensum, "In all honesty, I couldn't care less, if he does. What bothers me more is the thought of Ray going into a bar, chatting up a really stunning girl, having sex with her, spending the night and waking up with her the next morning. I couldn't cope with that." In January 2007, Nolan courted further controversy when, during a debate on Loose Women about gay adoption, she stated her opinion that gay people should not be allowed to adopt children, and said that "there's only so much I want to accept." Bibliography, Upfront and Personal, the autobiography, Mum to Mum, Happy Memories and Honest Advice, From a Real Mum, Envy, Filmography, Novels, Denial, 2011, References. External links, Official website, Daily Mirror column, Coleen Nolan at the Internet Movie Database.